cheerleader. Welcome back to my channel. Remember to like and subscribe so that you can be updated on when I post videos, and comment below with your suggestions or just your comments in general, but please keep it PG. This is a family-friendly channel. 3 weeks ago, this new series started on Netflix called Cheer, and I was under the impression that it was just like a series about cheerleading, and I was like, R-E-S-P-E-C-T, respect. I don't know. But I realized soon enough that this was not the case. And today I'm going to be discussing the first 2 episodes. I'm going to kind of give it an honest review, tell you what I think about it, and if you haven't watched it yet, please pause this video right now, because I will be giving spoilers. If you have watched it, good. Also, if you haven't watched it, then you seriously should watch it. Or maybe you can just, I guess, watch this video and make your own conclusions about this series. But I even took notes. So I'm going to tell you what I think about it. I'm going to tell you what it's all about. And today I'll be discussing episode 1 and 2. Next week I'll do 3 and 4 and so forth. Let's get into episode 1. So episode 1 is called God Blessed Texas, and basically in this episode we learn about the history of cheerleading from the point of R-E-S-P-E-C-T to where cheerleading is now a sport. Full disclosure, I know absolutely nothing about cheerleading. So Navarro is a junior college, and I only realized this like halfway through the episode. I thought it was a high school. These kids look like they're 15, 16 years old, but in fact they're 18 years or older. It is situated in a town in Texas called Corsicana, Texas, and this town is like 1,500 people big. So it's not a very big town. We're also introduced to some of the main characters, and we're introduced to Morgan, who's kind of like the underdog. You can tell she doesn't have the experience or the level of skill that most of these girls have. We meet Lexi, who has the weirdest drawn-on eyebrows I have seen in a long time. I did, however, really enjoy the fact that her grandmother broke the 4th wall by her phone ringing in the middle of an interview, and she goes, "It's okay, Grandma, we'll just do it again." We are also introduced to Sherps, who's a flyer, and she's amazing. Gets kicked in the face, and that was horrible. Gets a concussion, which isn't great, but we're introduced to her. Then we're also introduced to Ladarius, and he's absolutely the most fabulous person. He's super confident. He has this way of cheering with his face, which is just amazing. And we also meet Jerry, who is just the cutest thing ever. I want to be his friend. I feel like we can hang out, drink mimosas, go shopping, laugh, and I just feel like he's generally a good guy. We also meet Coach Monica, who uses a tablet to film her practices, which I thought was pretty weird, that she's holding it like this. And I feel like with today's technology, you could just use your phone, or you could get a camera crew, which you did with Netflix, to film everything. I don't get it why you need to do it with a tablet. So that was weird. These people's bodies are sick. Wow. Like, I've never seen people in cheerleading with these types of bodies. I mean, they're usually like skinny blonde girls, stereotypical, but these girls have abs, the guys are super buff, and I never knew how physical cheerleading as a sport was. Because I guess you assume just because they're going like this or whatever, it's not that physical, but these people are thrown in the air. There's this one guy who full blown, like, this girl is standing on his shoulders, and he's like purple and red and orange in the face. These kids, young adults, are practicing for months just to compete for 2 minutes and 15 seconds. We also learn that Navarro is actually the holder of 13 national championship titles, which is pretty freaking amazing. Like I said, I don't know much about cheerleading. No, I know nothing about cheerleading, actually. And then, as I'm watching this, they use the term making mat. Now, making mat means you're one of the 20 chosen people that will be competing on the day of the NCAA championships in Daytona Beach. This is kind of a big deal. It's the main goal of it all. So, in about 2 weeks, we will be finding out, well, this is not in the episode, we'll be finding out who's making it to mat and who does not have the skills for mat. There's also this pyramid that they need to perfect, and let me just tell you that this is insane, the stuff that they do. These girls are like thrown into the air, and the guy's like, oh, I need to catch her, and the other girl's catching her on her neck, and the fact that all of these people are not seriously injured every single time that they like get on the mat is freaking amazing. And then we meet Miss Gabby Butler, who's a cheerlebrity. Now, a cheerlebrity is a cheerleading celebrity. There are these little girls that are like, Gabby is amazing. We love Gabby. We want to be just like her. Which I found really funny when they interviewed them. But you start learning about her, and she is amazing. But we'll talk more about her in episode number 2, which is like just right after I'm talking about this. What really bothered me about this, and I think it's a part of the dance culture, it's a part of cheerleading culture for sure, is the fact that these girls check their weight constantly. And they are super upset if they gain 1 ounce. I get that they need to be in a certain shape to be able to tumble, to be able to, oh, look at me using cheerleading terminology. But I get it. But I feel like it's an absolute obsession with these girls. And I found that really, really sad. So they also take us inside of a history class, and the teacher is teaching them about Texas history. And then she talks about the best thing you'll ever eat is Tex-Mex. Girl, are you insane? Have you ever had Mexican food? Do not compare the two with each other. Tex-Mex is not a thing. It's not a thing. She also calls herself a gun-toting broad, which I found disturbing. And it also made me wonder, when the kids go to Navarro, what are they studying? The people making the documentary are actually going around and they're asking the people in the town what they think about the Navarro cheerleaders. And I think 2 people said that they knew who they were. The rest of the people did not have a clue who these kids were, but now they do. There was this one guy though that I found really interesting. He was like, of course I know cheerleading is a sport. I've seen Bring It On once. So every time someone gets hit in the face or they let a girl fall, the punishment is that they need to do 50 push-ups or 20 burpees or something, and then she goes, do it again, do it again, do it again, do it again. Like, this Monica girl is like, she's on it. This is why her teams are so good. But like, Sherps gets hit in the face and then they drop her, and it's like, you're getting punished. But then Jerry gets hit in the face and she just goes, make it fluid! This is not working! First of all, do not speak to Jerry like that. Second of all, don't you think these kids need to do some push-ups? And then they stick a tampon up his nose, which I thought was hilarious. There's like 3 girls that have concussions, and this, I'm guessing it's like a physiotherapist, a physical therapist person that is checking them. Now, I am not a neurosurgeon, a neurologist, or anything like that, but the way he checks these girls for concussions, I thought was really weird. Because he goes, close your eyes and touch your nose. And then he's like, follow my finger. No, sorry, you need to sit down, you're not okay. I'm like, what? Maybe he's from like a competing rivalry team, and he does not want this team to succeed. Monica, you need to get yourself a new physical therapist because this guy is cheating you. I'm just saying. At the end of episode 1, we learn that only 20 people will make it to Matt, and there's 40 kids that really want this so bad. End episode 1. Episode number 20 is called Making Matt, and now we are introduced to Gabby Butler, and we are told about her family, how she basically became famous, and I'm really going to touch on that. But first I want to say, they start the episode with this lady having a meltdown when she meets Gabby's mom, and she's like, oh my goodness, I'm so happy to meet you. And the mom's like, yeah, chill the F out. Like, Gabby's just a normal girl. I kind of feel like the mom is like, she's just a normal girl, whatever, don't treat her like a cheerleader, blah, blah, blah. But on the inside, she's like, hell yeah, you better recognize. Which I thought was weird. But it was so funny when her parents are sitting next to each other being interviewed, and the dad is telling a story, and she goes, you're telling it wrong. And he goes, okay, well fine, then you tell it. And she goes, no, you go ahead, you tell it. And he goes, no, you tell it. And they just start bickering, and I thought that it was hilarious. Anyway, so basically the way that Gabby became famous was she posted these videos on YouTube on how to become more flexible. It like started a wildfire, and that's how she became famous. Do want to say that her parents are super smart, because they definitely took a lesson from the Kardashian book, like on being a momager or a dadager. Is that even a word? But anyway, how to monetize on your children. Just saying. This poor girl was homeschooled. She flew from one city to another, back and forth her whole life. Now she's in an actual school, and I feel like she doesn't really know what to do. It seems like most of the girls are in dorms, but she's in an apartment. That's kind of the idea that I got. And her mom is teaching her how to do laundry, and she's breaking down. She's like, I'm so tired, I really just need a break. And her parents are like, not gonna happen. Give this girl a break! I mean, she is a young adult. She wants to go out, hang out with her friends, party, and you're like forcing her to do all of these cheer meets and stuff. I don't know if you're getting money from this, but calm down, honestly. Also, she's in the shower and her dad like opens the door and he's like, Gabby, I need to talk to you. This is happening. And I'm like, if my dad opened the door while I was taking a shower, I would be, first of all, super grossed out. Second of all, pissed. You don't want your dad in the bathroom with you. It's weird as hell. Then we're back in the dorms, and these girls are talking about drinking vinegar to make them more flexible. Yeah, no. The tryouts are starting for people to make Matt. You're being watched like a hawk. Everything you do is criticized. And now we are starting to learn about Morgan's background. Now, in episode 1, we found out that she is a bit of an underdog, but now we're going more into her family history. And we found out that her parents are basically the biggest assholes on the planet Earth, abandoned her and her brother, and they went to live with her grandparents. It seems like she didn't really grow up with a lot of money. She definitely is not on the level of the other kids. But Monica has a really soft spot for her, and you can completely tell that. So I feel like Monica should just adopt her, and she needs to start listening to Monica. Point your damn toes. Also, I want you to make Matt, so you need to point your toes, Morgan. Point your toes. I feel like Morgan has the potential to be like a super amazing cheerleader, and she's just messing it up because she's not pointing her damn toes. So now we're at Lexi. Lexi is the girl with the weird eyebrows. And you can see she's super artistic, she draws a lot and whatnot. And she's an amazing tumbler. In fact, they say that she tumbles as well as the boys. First of all, that is sexist, but second of all, she's amazing. Like, they ask her to do a toe full to a whip full. Look at me and my cheerleading terminology. Yeah, all of a sudden, I know everything about cheer. 2 episodes into cheer, and I'm an expert. In episode 2, we are now 56 days away from the NCAA champions, and we learn that Navarro's biggest rivalry is with Trinity College. They have a really fierce coach, and he has a vendetta against Monica. Pretty sure he's the one that sent those physical therapists in there. They have lost against these kids, so it's important that they stay focused. They don't want to lose against Trinity. Don't want to do that. Now we learn about Jerry. Like the second episode, we do learn a lot about the characters. And Jerry has this amazing story, and it made me cry actually, because he was just this little chubby kid who had this passion for cheer, and his mom couldn't really afford it, so she had like 2 jobs and she had a ton of dates, but she made sure that he had his uniform, that he showed up to these things. First of all, I didn't even know it was this expensive to do cheer, but then you realize these kids travel across the country, they need uniforms, they need to be at gyms, because only specific gyms do these cheerleading stuff, and it's really crazy. But then his mom gets sick and she dies of lung cancer, and I was heartbroken. I'm rooting so much more for him because I'm like seeing where he comes from, and he deserves to be on that mat. If you hear his mat talk, yeah, another term there from Jer, it's like, yeah girl, get it girl, you got this, ooh, who's so fierce? I love him. I want to be his, I mean, we're already friends, but I need him to be on mat. Easy as that. So, Monica, let me tell you, girl, if you do not put him on mat, I will fly to Texas and we're gonna get into a fight. Okay? Okay! So then we learn that they're actually now starting to make decisions, and the people that they are discussing that they want to have on the mat include names like Gabby, of course, Sherbs, Allie, Morgan, Ladarius, Jerry. These are all names that they're talking about. And now we're at the final tryouts. Morgan, if you do not point your damn toes, I'm gonna cut off your feet. They're doing all of these tricks. They do a double down, and they do not catch Allie. And now she has a concussion. And Morgan is basically they're next in line for this girl. So Morgan needs to point her toes. She needs to jump. She needs to be fast on her back handspring. Otherwise it's not gonna happen for you, girl. Anyway, we don't find out who of them makes the team. We do, however, find out that Jerry does not make the team. At the end of episode 2, I just want to say that Monica, you hurt my feelings, and screw your business hat. I know that you think like a business person when you selected your 20 people. I need you to think with your heart, because Jerry needs to be on the team. It ends with them saying that when Monica gets really mad, Annette comes out. Well, girl, if you don't want my Annette to come out, you better put Jerry on the team. Anyway, that concludes the first 2 episodes of Cheer. So go catch up on episode 3 and 4, because I'll be discussing that next week. And as always, please remember to like and subscribe to my channel. Comment below, what did you think of the first 2 episodes of Cheer? Did you like it? What did you think of this review of Cheer? Was it okay? So until next time,